Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we are going to be ranking the top 10 best power forwards in NBA 2K24 MyTEAM, including gambling cards. Before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 25,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day. Tons of consistent daily MyTEAM content. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. So, I did not include the super duper giant options that can play power forward, which I guess would be basically KP and Wemby. I just decided to leave them at center. Yes, they can play the power forward position. I just don't really think they need to take up spots on this list. We're going to talk about them tomorrow in the center list. I don't know, just for the sake of the list and including more cards, it just made more sense to me. But I don't know, those guys are obviously power forward eligible. They're just not on this list, so I'm just marking that down. Chet Holmgren is who I have at number 10. I like this Chet card. I do. I think he's good. I think he's versatile. I think he is a great defender. I think he's long. He's got great wingspan. He's fast. Good shooter. Solid dunker. Not a great playmaker, though, and honestly, his SIGs are not that great. Even on him, very quick. I don't love the release either. Pro 3 fade is not the best fade in the game. Like, animation-wise, this screen is where this card kind of becomes hurt and gets held back a bit because Kobe dribble style is good, but the rest of his SIGs I don't think are great. I mean, John Wall's drag back is nice, but overall, I don't think his animations are that great, and his release could also probably be a little bit better. And when you compare to the best of the best, that does kind of hold you back a bit. Like, I think Lauri Markkanen is probably better than Chet Holmgren is. Lauri Markkanen is not as complete stat and badge-wise, or not quite anyway, as Chet Holmgren. He's not that far behind, but he's a better shooter with a better release, in my opinion. I just think his animations flow a little bit better. I think he's got more versatility at the power forward position because of how good his release is, and honestly, I like his movement a little bit better as well. So, as a whole, I think Chet is probably, I mean, Chet and Lauri are pretty similar cards. I just like Lauri's release more as the main differentiator between the two, and I think I honestly think it's pretty fair to put Lauri Markkanen over Chet Holmgren at number 9. Number 8 is going to be David Robinson. 7'1" with great defensive ability, a lot of versatility. 7'1" with a 7'5" wingspan, 93 speed, 91 3-ball. Finishing badges are obviously phenomenal, but he's got half catch, corner, limitless range, big driver, blow by speed booster, and then a ton of defense as well. Really nice, smooth release, pro dribble style. Admittedly, no other real SIGs besides pro dribble style, so that could be better for sure, but I do think as a whole, these are going to be, I mean, I truly do believe D-Rob's a really good card. Is his release the best in the game at this point? No, but is he a really good card? 100%. Definitely a big fan of what he can do. I do think D-Rob is actually, I think he's really good. I really do. Number 7 is going to be, I just realized I did this backwards. I should have put Şengün at 8 and D-Rob at 7. The thing about Şengün that is better than D-Rob is his playmaking ability, but D-Rob is a couple inches taller, and I prefer D-Rob's release a little bit, so I give the slight edge to D-Rob there. Badge-wise, very complete and very good. Statistically, honestly, very good as well. His release is on very quick. It's just not the best release in the game, and that's the one thing to nitpick because he's got John Wall's drag back, Harden's behind the back, CP escape, Kobe dribble style, like actually pretty good SIGs. He's a 6'11" playmaker with a lot of badge versatility. I like Alperen Şengün as a card a lot, but I do think the one thing that holds him back as a little bit is his release being a bit on the slower end, and that puts him a teensy bit towards the lower end of this list, in my opinion. Certainly not a bad card at all, just probably could be a little bit better. Number 6 is going to be Hakeem Olajuwon, who is literally David Robinson, but a little bit better, has a little bit more playmaking ability, release is probably a teensy bit faster. They're basically the same card, and they basically do the same thing. They're both really versatile, can kind of do everything on the court at a pretty high level, but Hakeem has better SIGs slightly than D-Rob does, and also, I believe, a slightly quicker release than D-Rob does as well. Also has the Pro 2 fade, so there's a ton to like about Hakeem. I think he's still one of the very best bigs in the game, and I think he's basically just that, a better version of David Robinson. Although I will say, it almost feels a little low putting him at number 6. Number 5 is Anthony Davis. I like AD as a card. I think he's good. I think he does a lot of things well. I think he's 6'10" with a 7'2" wingspan. I think he is going to dunk the ball at a high level. I think he's a really good defender. I think his release on very quick is pretty good. Normal fade is not the best, and his SIGs could probably be a little better as well. But I do like AD as an overall card, although I will say I kind of like Hakeem more than I like AD. Hakeem has a better fade. I think his release is a little bit faster off the catch. Honestly, his SIGs are a little bit better as well, and he's a couple inches taller. I'm actually doing this, and I'm leaving it. I know AD is a dark matter, and Hakeem's only an opal, but I think this is actually a pretty fair change, and I think this evens out the list pretty well. So, In my non-gambling power forwards, yesterday I put Bill Russell over Nate Thurmond. I'm swapping that. I don't think that's actually right. As much as I like Bill Russell, I don't think he's actually better than that Thurmond card, but he is phenomenal. Number 4, 97 speed, amazing all-around stats, and honestly amazing badges as well. Could use the Handles for Days badge and a bunch of shooting badges added, but he's got every single defensive badge in the game on Hall of Fame. He's a great dunker. He's super fast, has a lot of versatility, and 2K even changed his jump shot base as well, which is a huge W. I don't love his upper, but I do think his release is pretty easy. Kobe Fade is not bad at all. As a whole, I like the card a lot. Bill Russell is really, really good. But the one thing about him that does hold him back just a little bit is that release, and specifically his upper being a little bit weird, and I think that is one thing that you can kind of nitpick against him if you want to. Also a slightly lower 3-ball than normal at only an 80. Nate Thurmond just has a better release than Bill Russell does, in my opinion. A little bit smoother and a little more consistent. Also a slightly higher 3-ball. Probably a little more badge completeness as a base card as well in terms of things like playmaking badges and stuff. Honestly, Sigs-wise, Trey Escape, Kyrie dribble style, Francis size up, and really good behind the back, really good drag back as well, Pro 2 fade. Like, he just has better animations than Bill Russell does, and I'm tripping not putting him higher than Bill. I think even number 2 is probably makes more sense than number 3, so we're actually going to move him up to there. Number 3, I'm sorry, is going to be Tyler Hansbrough. I really do believe Psycho T is really, really solid. 6'9" with a 6'11" wingspan. I do think he's actually better than Bill Russell because he moves better than Bill. He's got a much faster release, I think, than Bill does as well. I like Bill's release, I do, but I think this JT Thor base on very quick is like legitimately one of the very fastest releases in all of the game. Has great movement as well for a big, so I think Tyler Hansbrough is awesome. I just think, honestly, Nate Thurmond's a little bit awesomer. And then finally, Emeka Okafor is number 1 in my opinion. This is my favorite power forward in the game right now. I really do think he is just incredible. He's got a really big, bulky player build. His release is absolutely money. 6'10" with a 7'4" wingspan. He's honestly very similar to Nate Thurmond in a lot of ways, I feel like. Could use some playmaking and some shooting badges still. Agent 3 blinders, limitless handles for days, being chief of those. He's an elite defender. He's got great speed. He's a pretty good shooter, and he's a great finisher. Really smooth, easy, fast release, normal fade, Kobe escape, good sigs, hard behind the back, MJ dribble style. Like a very good card. Honestly, you could argue that Thurmond is a little better, but I don't know. I kind of prefer Emeka. I think both of them are great. I think, honestly, all these top 4 are relatively interchangeable, but overall, this is a pretty fair, pretty good list, and I'd be interested to hear y'all's thoughts in the comment section down below. And I hope y'all did enjoy the video. Hope y'all have enjoyed these top 10 lists. They're basically just my opinion at the end of the day. And I know a lot of these cards, a lot of these positions are super duper close together, which makes it kind of tough to make these top 10s. And I get a lot of comments from people who disagree with my lists. And that is totally fine if you disagree with my lists. But I do appreciate those of y'all who do watch the videos. And again, I'm just trying to share my opinion, and hopefully that helps y'all out. So, like I said, that is going to do it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.